War Eagle, and welcome to Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. That Auburn experience to us is all about a few things: Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. An easier way to say it might be, though, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. And you might even say what we do, just do it. Okay, that was really lame. Obviously, we're going to be talking about that today. I'm your host, as always, Kyle Loomis. Thank you so much for joining us on today's date, July 1st, 2025, for episode 34 of Ever to Podcast. As always, we want to catch you up on the regular news, discussion, scuttlebutt across social media, out in public, in the Auburn space, whether it's about anything within that Auburn space. Obviously, today we're going to talk about the very first day of Auburn and Nike. We want to discuss an update for Auburn in the NBA. And we also want to discuss a downtown update for you at Toomer's Corner that could be quite interesting if it comes to fruition. All that and maybe more depending on our time getting here on episode 34. First of all, let me wish you all a happy July. I hope you guys are enjoying the heat of the summer and looking forward to what this means. One less day marching towards another athletic calendar year starting for Auburn athletics. But today's a big day. We knew this a year ago that Auburn would be moving to Nike, and it's been a steady march towards that point today, July 1st, 2025. Auburn and Nike are now the official apparel partners. You will see that going forward, and that means Under Armour is a thing of the past. We spent yesterday talking about that, reminiscing, and being thankful for that, but it is time to move forward. I want to go ahead and prep you for something, especially if you're listening to this episode the day it's released on this Tuesday, July 1st. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, we will have Clint Richardson of the Auburn Uniform Database on to discuss everything that you need to know about Auburn and Nike based off things that happened today, what we've been able to speculate on and glean from things that are being released. So a lot of that's going to come out tonight. But let me give you some stuff today to keep in mind. The announcement today, as I tried to warn a lot of you on our content, really wasn't anything other than celebrating that Auburn and Nike has begun. The announcement came out this morning that for those of you that are big fans of this switch, that you're looking forward to purchasing the apparel, you won't be able to in-store or online until July 25th. Now, I know that comes as a big disappointment to you all, and a lot of you are sharing opinions about that, but some of y'all need to hold on with some of these opinions. This is just kind of a rule of thumb for a lot of you. Some of the things that you say on social media you sound very ignorant about if you don't just take a minute, breathe, and not overreact to things. Things happen for a reason sometimes that you're just not privy to. So July 25th is the date that's going to be available to you to start purchasing. Doesn't mean you can't start prepping, getting ready. I'm sure throughout this entire next couple weeks going to be getting leaks and reveals of things that you're going to be able to purchase in a slow kind of build towards that. So get excited, get anticipatory of that. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this day, have been hoping for this day. And there are a lot of good reasons for that. There are also a lot of reasons that are misconceptions about what this is going to mean. We're going to try to tackle some of that tonight in terms of alternate uniforms, in terms of recruiting, in terms of politics and things like that. Listen, I've said this very openly in a lot of my forums. I was not a fan of the switch, not for really in one particular reason, but if there was one, it was more so about Auburn being a big fish in a bigger pond, where they were a big fish in a smaller pond with Under Armour, and having some nuance to them, something different to offer, even if it was quote unquote not what the recruits wanted. And I do heavy quotes on that. Anyway, I do want to spend the majority of our time in this subject today, celebrating that. It is going to be awesome to see how this flourishes, dating back to our history. Bo Jackson obviously has a huge history with Nike and some of their campaigns, so that's going to be cool to see. Charles Barkley has wanted this. A lot of things are going to start coming out over the next few weeks as we march to July 25th for a lot of you who are excited about that apparel being available to you. So mark your calendars right now. It begins today. Just do it. Next up on our list, let's talk about NBA updates. We've been giving you the details about, obviously, Janai getting drafted. There were 3 guys that officially got deals from the NBA in terms of being able to go ahead on 2-way contracts or those weird 10-day contract things that some people get. to come participate in some way with the team. That happened for Chaney. That happened for Dylan Cardwell. That happened for Miles Kelly. Well, a new one yesterday actually announced, one we were all kind of waiting on, Denver Jones. Denver Jones now has his opportunity. He will be competing in the Summer League with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Stop me if you've heard that before. An Auburn Tiger competing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, either playing, competing, trying out for them. It just seems that the Cleveland Cavaliers love them some Auburn Tigers, and they've shown that with Isaac Okoro. I know that they've recently traded him away to the Chicago Bulls. We'll leave that there, but they brought in Chumo Kiki. They've had Sharif Cooper over there, I believe, some others, and now they're giving a shot not only to not Miles Kelly, Chaney Johnson, but to Denver Jones. So that's a really cool dynamic right there. Two of the fan favorites, some of the masterminds behind Auburn basketball's great run over the last couple of years, Denver and Chaney, are going to be together again, at least for a short amount of time, probably playing together in the Summer League. So this is really cool. It's a great opportunity. Denver Jones, I think, continues to be slept on. Bruce talked about this throughout the season, how he deserves more respect, about how he's one of the best two-way players out there, NBA draft or otherwise. He is a great scorer. He is a great, even better defender, and he's a great leader as well. As kind of that quiet leadership on the court and can just take over a game if he wants to, but he's such a versatile player that I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to find themselves quite lucky that they were able to get probably a steal situation here when nobody else took advantage of that. And clearly, as I've already addressed, the Cleveland Cavaliers love themselves some Auburn Tigers and love to bring them into the fold. So we'll watch him. We'll watch several others that have already made their deals for the NBA and see how all that shakes out, and certainly talk about and update you on them as time goes on. Let me give you some updates about the town, Toomer's Corner specifically. Obviously, nothing much has changed over the last couple of years there since the trees have been replanted and established, and now we're rolling again. And hopefully we're not going to be talking about anything other than those trees continuing to grow. But one of the things that's always been interesting, whether we're talking about the actual rolling area for Toomer's Corner, the surrounding block corners there leading over to Toomer's Drugstore, on game days especially, and even outside of game days, it can get very crowded and congested over there. And a lot of people are trying to get oftentimes to the opposite side of where they are at Toomer's Corner. If you're at Toomer's Rolling, you might want to go over to Toomer's Drugstore. If you're at J&M, you might want to get over to the other side to get to some of the eating establishments that are diagonal for you. That's what I'm talking about here, the diagonal dynamics of Toomer's Corner. The city of Auburn announced yesterday that big changes are coming starting July 7th. So not today, not yesterday, July 7th. They are going to be testing out I guess you would call it a diagonal crosswalk option at Toomer's Corner. Now, I know this isn't a big deal to some of you, but this is something that you're going to be seeing when you come to town and need to be ready for that if it works out. So they're testing it starting July 7th. There's been images I've already seen of people in hard hats kind of walking around the area, getting some things ready for it. I don't know exactly what that is, but clearly that's what's taking place here, is an opportunity to move the traffic around a little bit different there on game day, especially, which should be very beneficial. So we'll try to go capture an image of that, especially probably for the first home game, to see how that looks if it's a big if it gets implemented, if it becomes an official part of your Auburn experience when you come to downtown. So an interesting update for you about Toomer's Corner. And as a final quick note, let's throw this in here. We always love to do a little academic edge for you here on the show to round out your experience. There's big news for Auburn engineering. Dr. George Flowers, who's been a longtime dean of the Auburn Graduate School and also a professor for mechanical engineering, has been named the chair of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, which will start in October. Obviously, when we see people get the opportunities to continue growing their story in the Auburn experience, we need to celebrate that. And that is the same for Dr. George Flowers. He's obviously been a part of the engineering world for Auburn, and is going to probably be even greater for that part of the leadership for Auburn engineering. We all know how well known Auburn engineering is known across the academic spaces. So that'll catch you up on most of the Auburn news, scuttlebutt things out there right now. So keep that in mind as we move forward. and talk about some more things. If there's any updates about the Nike situation, we'll certainly do that. Don't forget, if you're listening today, even if you didn't listen today, you can go catch the replay. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central. Clint Richardson of the Auburn Uniform Database will be joining us on YouTube to discuss all things Auburn and Nike, everything you need to know. Do not miss it. That's going to be a great thing. We'd love for you to make sure you are subscribed here. If you haven't hit subscribe on this podcast, we'd love for you to do that. And if you have the second to, drop over and give us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you are listening to this. You can give a star review and then some assessment of what you think about us, good or bad. That does help the podcast out in terms of us getting better and also people finding us. So if you could do that for us, that'd be a great thing. As always, we appreciate you spending some time with us here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience on episode 34 of Ever the Podcast. So we talk to you again. War Eagle.